Yo, what is going on, everybody? Carnage back here again, and first time doing a comics video in a while. Haven't been doing them for the past few months. Do apologize for that. It's just more the fact that, as of the fact I only get my books on Sunday, and, just, wasn't really getting a lot of views on them so much, 6, 7. Uh, yeah, not, nothing too, uh, you know, groundbreaking, just more, since I can't get them on Wednesday, view counts were not really high, which, I mean, I don't really care about the views too much, but, if, like, no one's watching them, don't really see much reason to keep doing them the way I do. Anyway, I got all of these books for $100. I went to a thing that I saw on Facebook where they were doing, like, dollar books, like, every single book out in the yard, $100, which phenomenal steal on quite a few books that are definitely in decent shape, I will say. The first one up, Deathstroke Terminator, issue number 4. Have been wanting to start, collecting this series, just mostly because Deathstroke, one of the few DC characters I enjoy quite a bit. I found Batman number 658, and this kind of goes along with a different book I found. Number 659, which I love this cover. This is a cool cover. I'm not even a huge Batman fan, comic-wise. Didn't finish the Chip Zdarsky run, but the first issue was pretty decent. Got Captain America number 34, I believe, and I may be mistaken, I believe this is the first time Bucky, wears the Captain America suit, which very reminiscent of, like, the old shield that Cap had for the longest time. This one's actually for a friend of mine who really likes the character of Loki, so I found Loki number 4. I found Illuminati number 1, which very cool book. Been wanting this one for a hot minute. Mostly because iconic looking cover, dude. Iconic. I also did find Bullet Points number 2 of 5, and I know issue number 1 is in this stack somewhere. We'll get to it when we get to it. Batman Superman number 27, Superman Batman, number 27. Mostly collecting this series because this was actually the first DC animated movie that I ever saw. So, very excited for that. I also found Deathstroke number 11. Like I mentioned, Deathstroke, one of my favorite DC characters. One of the, few characters that I never see any comics for. Oh, this one I was pretty excited about too. This is issue number 17 of What If, and this is What If Ghost Rider, Spider-Woman, and Captain Marvel were villains. So, very cool, very funny. Like all what ifs. And there was an excessive amount of what ifs at this place, I know. So, don't know exactly which ones I have, so I didn't get a ton of them. To start with these two. I did find an excessive amount of Lobo. I found issue 20, number 21, and Lobo is one of my favorite DC characters. Love him so much. Very fun guy. Issue number 8, number 5, number 14, which really cool covers on the Lobo books. And this one is my favorite one out of all of them. Number 13. And I'm not 100% sure which ones are keys or not. If there are any, like, big Lobo keys, I'm not so sure. I did find this very cool Thunderbolts cover. I think this might be... Gosh, because I can't remember if this is the new team during, when Norman Osborn was in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. Can't remember that off the top of my head. And then Lobo number 36, where I'm pretty sure he's keeping William Shakespeare, hostage. And I mean, all of these books, if you look almost perfect and brand new, which I was very surprised about. And then going back to the Batman books, I found number 657, which is the first cover appearance of Damian Wayne. Not a super huge book, but I mean, still very cool to just find that. So I have 657, 658, and 659. That was kind of the little Batman run that I put together. And then going back to, the Superman Batman stuff, this is annual number 1. Like I mentioned earlier, mostly because of the fact that I'm a big DC fan, or Superman Batman fan because of, that specific show, or movie, I mean. Bullet points number 1, which, very excited about this. I did see number 4 and 5, but I did not grab those, specifically because I was like, oh, if I don't see number 1 or 2, I won't pick up them, and I couldn't find them when I tried finding them again, so kind of sucks, but, got quite a bit. Got issue number 12 of Lobo. And then a bit of a weird one, Lobo I Quit number 1. Technically not part of the main Lobo story, but, one of his many, many spin-offs. And like I said, a lot of Lobo. Here's issue number 10. Really cool looking cover. And I know it's mostly the ones later in the run that are like hard to find. Here's Lobo in a bunny outfit on number 19. Really funny. Lobo P.I. Part 2. This is issue 14. Or 15, I mean. My apologies. Like, Lobo covers are just so cool and interesting, man. So funny. Here's number 22. Number 16. Which, also part of the P.I. Book. And then, I know there's still more Lobo, but this is just it for the stack, I believe. Excuse me. Lobo, A Contract God. This is issue number 2. Fully honest, didn't realize it was issue number 2. I thought it was part of the main story, but, still such a beautiful looking cover, man. Really do like this. And then these next two go to, my Secret Wars collection. This is issue number 1 of Planet Hulk from Secret Wars. And I already did have issue 2, but mine had a big rip there because, I was like 15 when it came out. And, 15-year-olds, not really the most careful with things. Let me just grab more for a second. Okay, going back to Lobo, issue number 6, which I don't remember if I showed this one already. They had quite a few doubles of, like, a lot of the Lobo issues. Here's issue number 3 of that Loki series that I was gonna, be gifting my friend. And then I did find issue number 1. Did not find issue 2 when I was looking through. Don't know if someone else picked it up before I did. But, regardless, still very cool. This one is also for my friend. Not for the same friend, a different one. Fantastic Four number 330. He's a big, Fantastic Four fan. Originally I was going to be going with him. Sadly, he could not make it because he had to work last minute. But, picked him up a handful of things. One of the few things that had to do with Invincible at this, specific thing. I did see issue 5 and 6 of Guarding the Globe. I just, thought issue number 1 was, probably the smartest option. And not a whole lot of, anything really that had to do with not Marvel or DC. And they did have quite a few inappropriate books. Not going to say, what they were, but, a lot of inappropriate books. Lobo, annual number 2. It says Elseworlds up top, so I don't know if this takes place as an Elseworld book or something. Now I think about it, I may have this one. This one may be a double, but regardless, Deadpool number 1, the Dugan run. I can't remember if it was the Dugan run or the Wade run that was my, first ever Deadpool run. Can't remember that off the top of my head. I did find quite a few for this specific series. I found issue number 1, issue 2, issue 3, and issue 4 of the, Spider-Verse Secret Wars run, which I have never seen any issue other than number 5, and I only have number 5 from that series, so was very happy when I found those. This one is issue 197 of the Uncanny X-Men. Not a big X-Men fan, but, you know, Doctor Doom, man. Can't say no to a Doctor Doom cover. And I know there's a Doctor Doom cover that looks like that for the Avengers, I want to say? Like one of the earliest issues of the Avengers. Or earlier issues of the Avengers. These two go together. Moon Knight 6 and Moon Knight 7 from the Lemire run, which very happy because I never see any single issues from the Lemire run. So very cool that I found that. This one's also going to my friend. Again, Doctor Doom cover. This is Doctor Doom Supreme. I believe this is, 62. Issue 62 of this Doctor Strange series, but, you know, Fantastic Four book. Deathstroke number 40. This one's actually going to my dad because he really, you know, liked the back of it for some reason. Which, you know, not too much to say about that. Ironically, I was picking up Deathstroke, but, you know, he wanted that book. This one's for me. This is the meme cover that's been going around. So happy to find this, because I know this book has gone up in price quite a bit. Like, recently. And is this a Jonathan Hickman book? No, it's a Miller book. I can never remember. I then found, like I mentioned, friend's a big fan of, you know, Fantastic Four. Here's issue number 3 of Fantastic Four versus the X-Men. Issue number 1. Here's issue 2. And I believe that was it for that. If issue 4 is in there, you know, we'll get to it. Again, these are for my friend, because Fantastic Four. This is Deathstroke, the Terminator, issue number 2. Very cool. Haven't, like I mentioned, haven't really seen any Deathstroke books before. And I've heard it's a pretty interesting run. So very excited for when I do get to read it. And I know I do have more of these in my box somewhere, but I found issue number 3 of the Squadron Supreme story, number 4, number 5, and then coolest cover out of all of them, or the ones I found anyway, number 6. And for those of you that don't know, this was actually The Watchmen before The Watchmen. So very happy to, you know, find that, because Squadron Supreme, one of my favorites. Very excited to, you know, get into that and, you know, eventually, you know, read all of it. And like I said, I paid, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I paid $100 for 130 books, so that's less than $1 a book, which is pretty good. Silver Surfer number 50. I picked this one up because I knew it was a key. No other reason. What If number 23. What if the X-Men, the all-new, all-different X-Men team, you know, had never existed. So this is basically just the exact same, you know, characters from like the first however many issues. Number 13 of What If. What if Juggernaut was Charles Xavier? Ooh, very cool concept on that one. I do like that one. What if Wolverine battled Conan? And I don't know if any of these are like, you know, super huge keys. I just grabbed books I knew I did not have. Skip that one for a second. Here is What If Iron Man Lost the Armor War. This is issue number 8 for What If. I believe that's volume 2. One of my favorite Wolverine covers of all time, number 79. So cool. Very happy to find that. Actually, one of the only Wolverine books I picked up that I can remember off the top of my head. Lobo number 0. Really do like this, you know, specific cover the most. Just the most Lobo cover I think I've seen. Here is Un-American Gladiators Lobo number 2. Like I said, I just picked up as many Lobo books as I found, just because I really love Lobo. And I did pick up a couple that I already did have, I know, but, you know, those are mostly just for, you know, like, I am not gonna lie, did purchase them to sell when he does come out in the movie next year. So, but yeah, What If Fantastic Four had lost the Trial of Galactus? And then I found 2 issues of Lobo #1 from his first miniseries. Very, very excited about that. And then other than the spine on this book, it's basically perfect. Like, if you can see that. This is issue 116 of Daredevil. One of the earliest issues I did see Iron Man #6, but I sadly missed out on it because someone got to it before I did. Whap, whap. Issue number 163 of Daredevil. Pretty cool cover. And then I'll just pull out the rest of them real quick, because I did pick up quite a bit from this specific story arc. Because, yeah, this is one of my favorite characters of all time, and also all the, covers to these issues, just super, super cool. And very reminiscent of, other, things. Like, here's issue number 1 of Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, him with Headpool, one of the best characters in all existence. And then going on to issue number 2, which is, parodying, Jaws, really cool. Number 3, which is copying Day of the Dead. I believe that's what it was called. It was like one of the first ever, zombie movies, I know. I believe it was Day of the Dead. I might be wrong. I don't really watch a lot of horror movies. This one is definitely copying Scarface. Yeah, Scarface. Really badass looking cover, though. Really do love it. I know a couple of these are like, very, sought after just because of the covers. Issue number 5. Don't know what this one's parodying, but it looks familiar, though. Issue number 6, not so sure what this one is parodying either, but again, beautiful looking cover. And, full black spine, I see, like, no ticks on this at all, which is astounding. Yeah, issue number 8, very cool tiger cover, I will say. And this one looks familiar too, I just can't place it. Issue number 9? Yeah, 9. Very cool. Like, this is then just mostly hanging on the zombie universe. I know. Issue number 10, which I think I may have had this one too, but it's such a beautiful cover. And also, I believe the artist doing these also did, like, the book covers for Marvel Zombies. I believe that's what it is, because, that looks very reminiscent of his artwork anyway. Issue number 11, and then this one's one of my favorites, just because I'm a huge fan of Nirvana. This one is copying Nirvana. Deadpool Merc with a Mouth. Really love this one. This is definitely one of my favorite books that I pulled. And then the last issue I got was number 13. I don't know if that's the whole run. That's just what I grabbed. And there was a lot, and I repeat, a lot of Deadpool in the one box. But I'm a big Deadpool fan, so I did pick up quite a bit of it. I am also a huge fan of this specific run of Red Hood and the Outlaws, New 52. This is issue 7, issue 8, issue 9, which they had probably almost the entire run, but, didn't want to basically just only get Red Hood and the Outlaws. And they're relatively cheap books, so, I'm not too worried about it. Number 10, number 11, which really like this cover. A little messy in the background, but up front, pretty cool. And then number 12, which kind of reminds me of, like a Star Wars book. Very, very happy I found that. I forgot what pile I was putting this in. Yeah. And then I found issue number 9 of Action Comics New 52. This is the first appearance of President Superman, which I think this is like a minor key, something like that. Like, I will, ooh, let me just kind of grab this for a second, kind of scoop that over, because that's one of the things I want to show last. This next book, though, you can already see it. This is issue number 16 of Hulk from Jeff Loeb. This is the first appearance of Red She-Hulk, I believe. Pretty cool cover. Really do like that one quite a bit. And then I'm also a big fan of like this specific version of the Thunderbolts. This is issue number 32. Oh, I didn't even realize this was the final issue. Well, that's cool. Now I know it's only 32 issues. This one, you know, minor key. Issue number 11 of X-Men. Very, very cool. Again, kind of a big fan of both of these characters. So why wouldn't I get it? Deadpool, Daredevil Annual number 1, I believe. I believe this is only a one-off issue. I did also find these two. Spider-Girl number 0. I don't think this is like the famous one. I know the What If one was kind of the more famous one. And then I found issue number 1 of that. Those were mostly just, you know, because I thought they just kind of were keys. And then I just thought this cover was beautiful. Issue number 30 of Marvel Fanfare. Love this Moon Knight cover. So cool. Very, very cool. This one was actually the only book I saw with Invincible on it, excluding, you know, the other one. This is Free Comic Book Days Summer Special. And I don't even know if this... Oh, this does have like a little bit of Invincible in it. Yeah, Robert Kirkman. Yeah, and it's kind of, you know, showing a little bit of Invincible doing stuff. That's cool. I don't know if this came out before Invincible or after it, though. From what it looks like, it came out after. Ooh, because he's getting his ass handed to him by his dad. But, you know, had to get that because Invincible, man. I don't even know if that's a key or anything, but, you know, thought it was cool. Issue number 3 of What If. Pretty sure this is volume 2. Definitely one of the more beat-up books I found, but, you know, a what if I didn't have? What if Captain America refused giving, you know, did not give up being Captain America? Said that's so wrong. I also found issue number 1 of Deathstroke the Terminator. Up there, bit beat up, but I mean the rest of the book, fairly good. A little bit of dog earring in the corner, and the spine is a bit, you know, dinged up, but I mean, regardless, still issue number 1 to a series I've been wanting for a bit. Issue 25 of Superman Batman. Very cool. Really do like this Batman cover. I don't know what happens in this series after a certain point. Like, I didn't even know about that. Batman, Superman. It's so cool. I definitely do want to, you know, try to finish that at some point. Just because it's a very cool series that I do want to complete. This one, I think, is mostly just for the cover, why it's popular. Issue 275 of Fantastic Four. Hey guys, what's big and green and has staple in her navel? Oh, I never even realized he was holding that. But yeah, pick that up. That was pretty cool. That one's for me, for my Fantastic Four collection. Issue 250 of Captain America. One of the few Captain America books I picked up. Had to get it because, you know, President Captain America, man. Come on. This one, Thunderbolts, issue number 1. This is the first ongoing series of Thunderbolts, issue number 1. And I want to say this one blew up after the movie. But, you know, I just really love the movie. And I know this team has nothing to do with the ones we saw on, you know, the film. But, you know, still very cool nonetheless. Now going on to the last stack. And a lot of these are in very good condition. I'll just do this one single unbagged one first. Okay, there's the rest of that series. First one I'll show is What If the Watcher Saved the Universe? Ooh. And beautiful looking cover. My boy Wolverine there. Very cool. Very happy to find that. And rest of that's upside down, actually. This next two actually continue a series I actually just showed. Issue number 2 of Squadron Supreme. And then issue number 1. I was so happy to find issue number 1 because I was finding, you know, a bunch of the other ones and didn't have luck finding that until, you know, the next box, weirdly enough. Yeah. And I did also find a few more Fantastic Four keys. This one's definitely the worst of them all, just because the spine's kind of rolled. But issue 209, which is the first appearance of Herbie. Pretty cool. I already have this, but, you know, I know this book has kind of gone up in price, and, you know, thought my friend might like it. I also found the first appearance of Terrax, and also the second appearance of Terrax, which pretty cool. Was very happy to find both of those. Mostly because I want to say it was this one I had that was part of my, when my grandmother passed away, we cleaned out her house. This was one of the few comics that were in her house, but it was missing like the hugest chunk, like right there. But regardless, still a very cool cover, and, you know, finding issue number 1, 2, like, can't say no to that, man. And I did find a second version of Fantastic Four number 209, which, again, first appearance of Herbie. Now, this one definitely does not have a spine roll or anything, but this one definitely does kind of have a little bit messed up with it. Nothing super, super bad. It's mostly just right here down that just kind of looks a little nasty. This one doesn't look too bad, but I mean, you know, with that spine roll and everything, yeah. And one of these is going to my friend who likes Fantastic Four, so that's for him. And then, I know I said I'm not a huge X-Men fan, and then lo and behold, I do have more X-Men. This is 162. I just thought this was just a really cool Wolverine cover. Really, really cool. I don't know if this is a key or anything. But if it's a key, I think it might be like early Brood. And then this one, also a Wolverine cover. Him just about to stab one of the Power Pack kids. Well deserved, in my opinion. And we're getting very close to finishing the stack, actually. Here's a couple more. Here's like issue 344 of The Incredible Hulk. Got this one because, you know, McFarlane Hulk. And it's also copying issue 300, so why not? I didn't even realize this was a Wolverine book. I was just like, oh, that kind of looks like Wolverine, and it kind of interested me. Yeah, lo and behold, I opened it up. It's Wolverine. That is 100% Wolverine. I didn't even know this was like a Marvel book, because it didn't say anything about Marvel on the cover that I could, you know, see. Because right there it says Martin, and then, you know, that, and then Path of the Warlord, and then, like, I thought that was actual Chinese, but it says Logan. But that was a very cool find. I've never seen that before. And then I did finally get to complete my mini-series of West Coast Avengers, like the first mini-series. Here's issue 2. Issue 3, I did have this one, but mine had a very bad spine roll. But now I have a new copy, and I can replace it. So, yay. And then issue number 4, and I did already have issue number 1. I did see like 2 or 3 issue number 1s. And then I did see New 52 Harley Quinn. Found issue number 11. And I believe it was this Harley Quinn run that I had a handful of issues towards the end of the series that I really enjoyed. But regardless, issue 11, issue 12, and issue 13. Very, very cool. I then found... Ooh, that's another one that I'm going to have to show last. Because, like, the last few books I have are very, very cool. Ghost Rider, all new Ghost Rider number 5. So happy to find this. I believe this is the one I've been missing for a while. Because I've been wanting to complete that series for so long. And I finally can. Issue number 262 of Fantastic Four. Kind of 50-50 on keeping this one for myself, just because I really do like it, because it's a trial of Reed Richards. Very tempting to keep that one for myself. Which, more likely, I probably will, just because, you know, it's a very cool cover and a very cool book. Speaking of very cool, Fantastic Four number 348. First appearance of the all-new Fantastic Four, Wolverine, Spidey, Joe Fixit, and Ghost Rider. I also found issue number 1 of Harley Quinn. Very, very happy about this one too, just because this is a very iconic looking cover it for Harley Quinn, in my opinion. And they did have quite a bit of that series, but, you know, that was also one of the first few books I did find. Like, legitimately, within the first hour, I had a stack like this thick, which is, you know, pretty thick. I then also found even more Moon Knight from the Jeff Lemire run. I found issue number 1. Sadly, no issue number 2, but issue number 1, can't say no to that. Issue number 3, number 4, and that was basically it for the Moon Knight stuff. And then I also saw this really funny Lobo cover. It does have one, like, defect right there, but I mean, Lobo number 37, why is this man smiling? Such a ridiculous cover. I love Lobo so much. He is legitimately just the best, man. Alright, now going on to the final books I picked up. And there's 6 books left over, and these were definitely the best finds that I knew about to begin with. The first one is issue number 1 of Teen Titans, or the New Teen Titans. Second appearance of, you know, Beast Boy, Cyborg, Starfire. I think it's a second appearance of Raven too, I might be mistaken. But this is like the first, you know, ongoing series for this specific team. And I know the first appearance of them appeared in... I can think of the cover. I don't remember what the book title was. I just know Superman was being tricked by Green Lantern with a fake kryptonite. And then these 5 were the best ones that I found for $1. This is the first 5 issues of New 52 Batman. And I was so excited finding this just because, you know, the New 52 Batman run, one of the greatest ones. Here's number 1. And funny enough, I thought I already had issue number 1. Turns out it was a reprint for $1. I didn't know it was a reprint, so I was like, oh yeah, I already have that one. And then I looked closer at it and it had like the dollar thing like right up there. I was like, oh, this isn't the real one. But I remember enjoying that comic so much because it came out when I first started getting comics for Christmas, which was pretty cool. Issue number 2. I believe this is the first appearance of the Court of Owls, or issue number 1 was. I can't quite remember. And then issue number 3, one of the best covers, just Batman versus Talon. I think this is actually him versus Talon too, for the first time. Issue number 4. And then issue number 5, again, peak cover. Kind of wish I would have bought more of those, but, you know, by the time I found all of that, I was kind of like, okay, I'm dying. I want to go home. So, main reason why I didn't buy, you know, any more of that. And I didn't get this today, but I did get this from my comic shop. This is Booster Gold number 1. Paid $40 for it, which, I mean, for a character that is gaining a lot of hype at the moment, not a bad idea to, you know, get it while it's hot. But yeah, that was everything I had to show you guys. Lots of cool stuff, and if you guys saw any other keys that I kind of, you know, looked over, you know, didn't say anything about, feel free to leave a comment down below, just, you know, mentioning it. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I do greatly appreciate every single one of you, and I will catch you in the next video. Love you all. Peace.